going to teach you how to design custom labels for any products that you're ever trying to visualize. You don't need to have any experience with graphic design to be able to do this. You don't need to pay for any software to do this. It's totally free. And you can make money for doing this type of shit. So even if you're a complete idiot, even if you're flat broke, I'm going to give you something totally free that you can use to make some money. I'm also going to update my Blender ebook with some of the skills you're going to see me teach in this video. So check that out, the link is below. We're going to do something very simple in this video just so I can teach you how this works. I've got this hand lotion bottle right here in front of me. This is about as simple as it gets. I have a very simple hand lotion bottle ready in Blender. I'm not going to show you how I modeled that in this video. I got plenty of videos about this type of shit on my channel, so go check those out. Go to Google and type in PaintNet. Don't type in paint.net, just paint space net. This is a free image editing program. It's very easy to use. It's got a bunch of features, but unfortunately it's not going to work on Mac OS. If you're using Mac OS, another free program that you can use is GIMP, but it's not as simple. If you guys are really interested, we can do another tutorial about GIMP, but today we're just going to use PaintNet because that's my favorite. Click on the download button, click on this button right here. You can download the program right here. I don't have to show you how to install it because it's the same as anything else. Once you open up PaintNet, this is what you're looking at. So I'm going to show you how I would make this label for this thing right here. And then if you have any questions, then let me know in the comments or send me a message or go to Discord or something and I can explain something a little bit further. We're going to create a new canvas with Control N. The width is going to be 1024 and the height is going to be 2048. This is because the bottle is much taller than it is wide. Pick the bucket tool from this little tool menu. If you don't see this menu over here, you can toggle all of the menus with these 4 buttons up here. You got your tools, you got your history, you got your layers, and you got your colors. We're going to pick a red color down here and just click on the canvas to turn everything red. You can also control the color over here to make it darker, to make it more orange, to mix other colors and whatever. I'm going to make mine a little bit more purple. If you want to be extra, you can take your gradient tool and then as your secondary color you can pick a different color such as maybe a red and add a little bit of orange to that secondary color, and now you can click and drag to add a gradient. The point where you clicked is going to have the primary color and the area to which you dragged your mouse after you clicked is going to have the secondary color. So up here we have this purplish red and down here we have orange. You can still control the colors at this point, but not for long. Now we're going to take our text tool, add a new layer, set the color to white, and you can pick any font from your massive font library. You can control the font size over here by just picking any number. You can test your font by just typing something random. This font is kind of shitty, so I'm going to pick another one. Usually Arial is the most basic font that's universally applicable for almost anything you're ever doing. You can't go wrong with Arial, but it looks kind of boring, so if you're trying to do a company logo, you might want to use something else. Keep in mind that you can download almost any font on earth. To do that, you can just search font on Google. You're going to find a bunch of websites where you can download fonts. For example, DaFont is a massive library with all kinds of fonts. You just have to click this download button here, open up the zip file, and you can double click on this TFF file and click this install button right here. This is going to install the fonts to your computer and not to any specific program. So you can use this in PaintNet, you can probably do this in Photoshop, I can also use it in Premiere Pro if I'm editing videos. It's that simple, so you can just acquire any font that you can ever imagine. If you want to use a downloaded font, you gotta restart your program. I don't want to use the company's real name, so I'm going to type something different. You can also toggle whether this is going to be bold or italic or underlined or whatever. I think it looks pretty cool if we make it bold and we set the font size to 84. If you're trying to make the logo of a specific company, you can just Google that company's logo in Google Images, but it might be tricky to find a logo with a transparent background. Usually adding PNG after searching for this is going to filter the images to only give you images with transparent background. You can't always tell by just browsing, so sometimes you just have to open the image in a new tab, right click, copy image. In PaintNet, create a new canvas with Control N, and the dimensions of the canvas are going to be the same as what you have copied to your clipboard. So in this case, we can just paste this onto a new canvas, and as you can see, this is a transparent background. So if we add a new layer to our project over here, we can just paste this, keep canvas size, resize this a little bit, and now it's going to be on top of whatever we have before. I don't want to use this company logo, but I like the leaf idea, so I'm going to search for leaf texture. I'll take this image right here, open image, a new tab, copy image, paste it into PaintNet, and then I'm going to use my circle select tool, hold down shift, click and drag to select a circular area, Control C to copy that, add a layer between the red background and the white text, and we're going to paste that there. Now you can rotate this whatever way you like. You can scale it down, place it anywhere you want. I want to add a little bit of blur to this little leaf thing, so I'm going to go to Effects, Blurs, Gaussian Blur, set the radius to whatever you like, and now it looks a little bit cuter. Let's switch back to to the text layer by clicking on it over here. We're going to reduce the font size to something like 28, and we're going to add an extra little bit of text below the title. So we're going to write body and just place that somewhere around here. It looks kind of cool if we make this italic but not bold, so we're going to do that. Then below the title, there's something else down here. It's a white box with some more text in it. So we're going to add another new layer, give me my shape tool, make sure that's set to rectangle, and then click over here to toggle the fill mode. You can toggle between just drawing an outline, having a full shape with the primary color, or having an outline in the primary color and the filling in the secondary color. I'm going to set my primary color to light gray and my secondary color to white. Then I'm going to use the third option in my fill mode. You can increase the brush size over here, and now I'm going to click and drag to create a little box like this. You can change the placement, and then we need to add some text. So go back to the text tool. Now we lost the color that we had before for the background. So we're going to click on the background layer, click on the color picker tool, and just click on whatever color you want to select. Then go back to the text tool and go back to the top layer, set the text alignment to center, click right here. I want this text to be bold but not italic. We're going to write intensive care. Increase the font size to something like 72, and below this is another little text which is not bold and the font size is smaller, and that says repairing. Then we have some more white text below, so we're going to go back to our text tool, white color, give me left text alignment. We're going to click over here, and now we have to write repairing hand cream. We're going to adjust the size so it fits perfectly with the length of this box up here. So something like 54 or 55 is going to work. Then give me a smaller font size, and down here we're going to write with allantoin. I don't know what that is, but I guess it's some kind of chemical inside this fucking hand lotion. Now down here at the bottom, we have this little hand inside of a white circle. So let me show you a cool trick that you can use if you have to design a custom label which you have to place onto this canvas. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it, but you can do this shit in Blender. I don't feel like making an account on Canva or something else. I just like to do this in Blender. I'm fucking crazy. If you know a better way you can do that, this is just how I do it. In Blender, go to top view, add a plane with Shift A, then press X, collapse edges and faces, and now you're going to extrude this vertex and use it to shape out whatever icon you're trying to create. You can add some subdivision surface to this, and this is very useful for doing stuff like icons in cars and all this other shit. For example, you can model a little seat like this, then you can take some geometry up here to model out a little head. You can take a couple of vertices like this and then extrude them into like a zigzag pattern if you want to do like seat heating or something. You can do whatever you want, and then once you have your icon ready, go to Object, Convert, Curve, go to the curve properties over here on the side. In the geometry menu, you'll find the bevel section, increase the depth, reduce the resolution, and now you can go to Object, Convert, and back to Mesh. Scale everything to 0 on the Z-axis, then press M, merge by distance, and Shift N to correct the normals. Now if you want to, you can subdivide this to make the corners a little bit smoother. Go to Material Preview, add a new material which has no specularity, and it has to be completely white in this case. In Top View, we're going to add a camera, Ctrl-Alt-0 to align the camera with our view. In the camera properties, we're going to set the type to orthographic projection. We can render that at 1080 by 1080, and now adjust the orthographic scale until you can fit this into your camera. Now in the render properties, you can use Eevee, go down to Film, and check transparent. Now you're going to render with a transparent background. You're probably going to need some kind of light, so just add a simple sunlight, crank it up a little bit, and place it anywhere in the scene. Now if you hit F12, you're going to get your beautiful icon right here. Now go to Image, Save As, pick a folder where you want to save this, make sure the file format is PNG, and set the color to RGBA. Now this is an image with a transparent background, just like the logo we found on Google. So we're going to be able to place this onto a new layer in PaintNet, and we can do that by pressing Ctrl-O in PaintNet, locate the image which you just saved, select everything with Ctrl-A, press Ctrl-C to copy, create a new layer and paste that onto that new layer. Keep canvas size. You can scale this, you can place it anywhere, you can rotate it, you can do whatever you want with this. In this case, I don't need a seat warmer icon. I'm going to go to Google and type in hand icon. I need this to be a PNG image. Then I'll take this icon right here, copy image, add that to a new canvas in Paint. In this case, they lied to me, so this doesn't actually have a transparent background. I'm just going to use my magic wand tool, shift and click on the black surface, Ctrl-I to invert the selection, and just delete everything else. Now we got a black hand, so we can just go to Adjustments, Invert Colors, and this becomes white. If the edge is a little bit jagged, you can just go to Effects, Blurs, Gaussian Blur, make this a little bit blurry, and it will look a little bit better. Now select everything with Ctrl-A, press Ctrl-C to copy, paste this onto a new layer somewhere like this. We're going to reduce the size and place it somewhere around here. I want my Shape tool. Make sure that you use your Rectangle Select tool and just click anywhere on the canvas. This is going to deselect everything that you have, and this is important because otherwise, if you have something selected and you want to draw a new shape, that shape is only going to be visible in the selected area. So with my Brush Select tool, I want no fill, I want just the outline. Give me a circle. I like the brush size 7, white color, and I'll hold down shift to create a new circle around this little hand. This looks pretty cute, so we're gonna leave it there. We need some more text, so give me my text tool. We're going to write repairs and nourishes. You can always make the hand a little bit smaller by using your selection tool. Select the icon like this, Control X, and then press Control V. Now you have this scaling shit again, so you can hold down shift to scale this down a little bit. We're going to do the same with the text, Control X, Control V, and move that a little bit closer like this. Then I'm going to take my shape tool again. I want my rounded rectangle, and I need a little bar down here like this. It has to be filled with a solid color, and I'm going to increase the corner size. Instead of spamming this plus button a million times to increase this by a lot, you can hold down Control and click on this to increase it by 5 units with every click. Now we got a nice little bar with rounded corners. I'm going to use my color picker tool on the background to pick this color again. Come back here, give me the text tool, and we're going to write damaged hands. Make that bold, place it in the middle like this, and then there's some white text down here which is not bold, it's very thin, and this says dermatologically tested. It's hard to pronounce words like this as you're typing, but now we're going to add a new layer, shape tool, square, no filling, reduce the brush size to something like 4. We're going to create a rectangle around this little text down here, and then I'm going to take my box select tool and I'll select a space in the middle of this. Then I'm going to delete these lines, and that gives me these little brackets around this text. Don't ask me what it is, I'm just doing what I see on the fucking bottle. Now we got our beautiful simple label right here, and in total this took me around 30 minutes to produce. So now if I want to take this into Blender, I have to press Ctrl Shift F to flatten everything into one layer, then press Ctrl S to save. We're going to save this as hand lotion label. Hit enter, click OK, and now in Blender we're going to apply some materials. First, add a new material for everything. We're going to make that red just temporarily. Then we're going to select the cap and add a new material to that. Assign, new. That has to be white and it has to be quite shiny. In the red material, we're going to go to the shading tab. We're going to name that label. With Shift A, add an image texture node, open, find the hand lotion label, plug that into base color. You can reduce the roughness if you want to. I'm going to mark some seams which are going to allow me to unwrap this front surface. So Control E, mark seam. In face select mode, I'll press L to select this surface. U, unwrap. We just have to go to the UV editing and adjust the UV map, and that's going to make this look a little bit nicer. I don't want to turn this into a UV editing tutorial, but with individual origins, I'm going to scale all the vertical edge loops to 0 on the x-axis and all the horizontal edge loops to 0 on the y-axis. But if you fuck around long enough, you're gonna make this look decent on the UV map. Now we got our texture on our shitty little bottle. This is a stupid model which I just made for the example because I just wanted to teach you guys the graphic design side of this. But this is the technique that I use to make all of my textures and all this other shit that I do. Is there a better way to do this? Probably. Do I care? Not really. Again, I'm not saying this is the best way to do it. I'm just saying this is my way to do it. So now you got a very easy way to make most of these simple labels like this if you're trying to start from scratch. Usually if you're working with a client, they're gonna send you the labels as files. So you don't have to do this. But if you're trying to make your own design, then this is how I would approach it. Hit the damn like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one.